Hello, this is Bonnie, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. I am joining in with a group that is doing a blog hop from Facebook, and the Facebook group is called Crafting Together with All Brands. And you will notice at the bottom in my description that I will have the links to everyone that is participating in this video hop. And I just wanted to say, I'm glad that you're here, and that I hope that you enjoy this video that we're going to work today on. And it is a spring theme for the whole month. So in as much as there'll be several of us posting today, you have forever to really watch the videos. I just wanted to let's get going and have some fun. So what I'm going to be doing today is I am going to be using Sizzix Tim Holtz bunny, and it is called Bunny Games, and the number is 665850. And I'm going to be doing a couple of two different dies, I think, but I want to go ahead and start with the bunny first. So what I have done is I have cut everything out, and there's actually two bunnies that are in this set that I will be using. And there's some pieces that are small, and so I wanted to really start with those first and then go ahead and start doing the bunny because I don't want to lose these small pieces. So these are the heads, and if you will notice, each of them have score lines in them. Let me see if I can get that to work. There it goes. And what you try to do is get these tiny pieces into those score lines. And so this will be probably what takes me the longest to create this bunny. And I think I'm going to put it on, this is the mouth part. Actually, this isn't the mouth part, this is the nose. There's a little piece that's even smaller for the mouth. I really debated whether to show you how to add these. I think this one goes on the other side. So, because I knew that they were going to be a little bit fiddly. So that's the only part that you really have to take your time at getting on, is the little pieces like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other one really quickly. I even have some of the eyes there. So I told you this part's going to take the longest, and I'm sure you understand what it is. And some people have ways of doing this quicker. I know that Tim Holtz lots of times will use sticky back paper when he goes to do these small pieces, and then they can just stick on instead of gluing them. And you can do that. I will also use, to get these in place, I will use my paper piercer and slide those to where they need to go. And that usually works really well too. So I think you're understanding that. I don't really want to take a lot of your time showing you how to do that. I will probably add the eyes and the little mouth later. I just didn't want to lose those little pieces sitting there. I don't think I will. So I just got to make sure I don't touch them. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the bunny. So this is the sitting bunny, and there are two pieces. And usually on the back they will tell you what numbers they are. In this case it doesn't. I think it's a B. Let's see. Yeah, they just say B. So this is not a colorized. Typically a colorized has a lot of them numbered off, and you know exactly what to do. This one does not. So the one that's got the score lines is your first layer. And then what you do is you start building on top of that layer. Move my glue out of the way so I don't have a shadow from my natural light. So this is the face part. Yeah, get that going. So it's kind of like this part, doing these die cuts are kind of like doing puzzle piece, piecing in a way. Now I'm going to show you this. Again, there's score lines on there so that you know where to put this. And then that's all you do is you line up to the score lines. I got a little bit of glue on there. Okay. And I decided to go with a craft paper in the background and a white paper on top. on the packaging they have used pink for the background, and then they I want to say distressed edge, but it's just like they used a light gray to make the white have a little bit of shadow. So this is the bottom part, and again it shows you on here the score lines for that. He's really quite a cute bunny, and you can use this for many of your spring projects. And I'm going to show you, I have one other die I'm going to put the bunnies with so that it could actually work for Easter, or it could just work for spring. So we have a little leg here that goes off to the side, to the left. And yes, these pieces are a little bit small, so you just take your time. Is it the best thing for a video? Probably not. But this is working out fine, as long as I don't lose my pieces. So that's the first bunny with the first and second layers. Now, for the third layer, there is a belly and some bunny inside of the bunny ears, and I cut those out of pink. So again, there's a score line for this belly, and it goes beyond the white. So it starts up here on the white, and it goes all the way down to the tan. And I'll show that to you closer. So that's how that bunny looks. And then we've got the bunny ears. And when you go to cut these out, you know which one goes with which, because this one with the belly goes with this one. The other one is just the head. So you know these ears go with that. So when you cut it out, just keep them separate. So in this case, I'm going to add the glue. Yeah, I'm just double checking. Yeah, I'm going to add the glue. Right. I think that's right. Yep. Just going to add the glue on here and then put these pieces on, because I think that'll work fine. Some people are really super good with tweezers and getting these on. It's just one more thing I'd have to learn to do, is how to do the tweezers with my, if I can do it with my hands, I'll do it with my hands. So that technically, other than adding the eyes and that little mouth, which I think we're going to try to do at the moment, I'm just going to put a little dot for the eye there, a little dot for the eye there, because I know that both those pieces go there. And I'm going to use my old tool that will pick these pieces up and put those right on. And that works better. I think that's the right way around. All right, so those are the eyes. That went on fairly quickly. And then there's a little mouth piece. And that is, you can see there's a little bit of square line right down here at the bottom. It's like a little teeny tiny smile. And I think this one's backwards. But I think I've got it. And then that little mouth goes right on there. And then you've got your cute little bunny. And that's what he looks like. Now, for the other bunny. This is the, we have two pieces. And this is the first layer. And that is the second layer. And the reason you can tell is because this has the, it's smaller. And it also has a score line for the face. The face goes on top. So, we're going to go ahead and put the white onto the craft paper. And again, the score lines are on there, so you know where to line that up. See, because it doesn't line up right up to the edge, you have this overlap, and that's why you really need to pay attention to your score lines. Okay, so that's him, and then he needs his, right, this one needs his little pink. I'm trying to check which way they had that on this. And you check with your, I check all the time with the cover, and sometimes the cover can be wrong, But most of the times it's right. Okay. So we have those pieces on. So once you know how the thing really goes together, it can go rather quickly. You can still, I would say, distress the edges of these if you want. Just come back in with your ink and distress. It would be the brown and the white that would get distressed in at the same time. And then we got that teeny tiny mouth. And there is, like I said, a teeny tiny score line down here. And this one's turned the other way around, and I don't want to play. There we go. I got it the right way. If you move these around too much with your nails, they'll flip like you're playing tiddlywinks. Whoops. And I don't really want that to happen. All right, so we've got the face done for that. This one actually comes with two little hands. And I think I missed out on one little thing here. I don't know what I missed out on. But, right. So, these are the paw. Oh, I see what I did. I had cut these two white pieces of white to begin with. I don't need those. All right, so these are the bases. And I'm going to show you how I know that. These pieces right here are the hands. See those two little pieces in between the ears? Those are the hands, or the paws. And the one that's the background is the background for the paws also. So all you gotta do, this does have a slight, I don't really see the score lines in here, but they do have a way that they set up. And it looks to me like the white goes up towards the top. You just have to figure out which direction you want your paws to go in. And I would say that the flat part goes down. It looks more flat that way. On the bottom part, that's the way we're gonna go. So that means the pieces are gonna go up here at the top. Now, if I'm wrong, it's not gonna matter a whole lot for these pieces because they're just the paws and it looks pretty much the same. So there are certain ones that go certain ways. And we're going to call that one good. Whoops, that fell off. And this one good. All right. So we have our bunnies made and ready for a project. I'm going to show you what those look like. That will be his paws. That's what that bunny looks like. Let's get a little closer. And you can see how those look when you're all said and done. These paws can go in any place depending on what you're making. So the next thing that I'm going to make that goes with this project that came in this set, actually there's two little things, is, and here's this again, why I'm doing this one. It's harder to understand some of it. This comes with a banner, or some people call these, what else do you guys call? If it's not a banner, it is a bunting, I think. And so it comes with the base, and then it comes with all these different little triangles that fit on. Now, you would think that all of these triangles would have been made the same. They are not. And so you basically need to line all these up and figure out which ones go where, unless when you go to cut this out, and even that, it doesn't even show you in the right places. So you have to figure these out. They actually are supposed to line up and fit on perfectly. So I'm going to be needing to do that, and I'm going to do that off camera in the back, but that's, you have to line those all up. The other thing that's in here, it's really cute. It's a teeny tiny daisy. All I did was cut out the petals, or the flowers, and the centers. So I'm going to do those really quick, line these up off, and then I'll be right back. And then we'll be able to do what I'm going to be making a big flower that goes with this. Let's go ahead and get our centers really quick. And then those flowers are done. And I will be using those in our project as well. And I'm going to do this off screen like I said. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make this flower. So don't go away, we're going to be making this flower also. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I wanted to show you how I am going to ink up the edges, and I'm going to be using Distress Oxide tea dye, or tie dye, not tea dye, no, tea dye. And I am using these really great stencil brushes because it allows me just to get the edges and be more precise. And I'm just going to go around this bunny on those edges. I'm going to go around the other bunny too. Now it can be any color, it could have been gray. But this little brush allows me to be more specific to the edges. I think this little piece was supposed to be cut out so that you could see pink behind it because the background was supposed to be pink, but because I used a little bit thicker paper, it stayed in, and then I glued it. So, but like I said, this brush works really well, and I'm going to show you one other thing I'm going to do with this brush that allows me to do some other detail on this. And it goes rather quickly. I think I got a little bit of glue there. Get that glue off, dried it. Okay. I need his little belly there. Okay. That looks pretty good. A little bit at the top. So he's pretty much done. And I'll do the head really quick, and then I want to show you, I'm going to give these bunnies some cheeks using the same concept with even a smaller stencil brush. We got a little bit of the, there we go. So I know this takes time, but I just wanted you to see how nice this, you can get a little bit of dimension to your projects using this brush and your inks. And then the other thing I should really pull out just to finish it off are these little paws. Okay, so again, that's with the tea dye. And then with a worn lipstick, Distress Oxide, I am going to use even a smaller brush. And I'm going to give these guys some cheeks. And I think that works really well for them. So I just dabbed a little bit of that off, because you can always add more. Okay, so now they have cheeks. I think they have a little bit more character with a little bit of that ink. So, all right, so I'm going to get going with the flower. I have to, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all the pieces cut out for this floral. This floral is called Bloom, and it's 665208. And I think I am going to go ahead, yeah, we're going to go ahead and just use this even though it's out of the screen. So we'll scooch these up just a tad. So I'm doing the flower first. The flower has 4 pieces. And I'm telling you this because it does really help when you go to lay it out and decide what colors you want to use as well. So this is from the background, like I told you, is first. And it's got the square lines on it. And then we've got the second layer. I'm just going to go ahead and put these together because I pretty much told you in the first video there's some things a little bit different every time you do this. This one actually is a colorized and it does have the numbers on the back, and they even tell you what color based upon what's on the cover. But you can change your colors and you don't have to do what's on the cover. So anyway, this one lines up, and I always try to, before I actually glue things down, I actually kind of like put things together so I know I've got the right pieces and what goes where. But that lines up with the score lines there. You can see this one moved over a little bit because it's loose, and so you have to scooch that to where it belongs on that score line. So we've got one part of that together. Now, there's another little piece. If you look at the die, there's another little piece, and there's another score line. And I'm going to go ahead and put the glue on that. Again, these, you know, if you're not doing it for a video, they're really fun just to take your time and put them together because it's very satisfying in the end when you've created. I think with these flowers and stuff, it's really kind of fun. All right, so that's the second layer, and then this is the third layer. And what I did, all of these suggest you to use pink. So basically what I did was I went light, medium, a little bit darker, and then dark, but you can go whatever direction you want. But that's what I did. And I used what was in my stash. Now another thing that's really helpful, say you don't have, you know, the colors you want in your stash, and I've done this in other videos, is I will just ink up some white cardstock, and that helps me with not having to go searching for the right colors. Because if I use the distressed inks and just, you know, ink up the backgrounds, and I can have the colors I need if I have those colors in my stash. So there's one little piece here. So you saw this piece. There's another little piece that got cut out. Whoops, we're in the third one here. And that's this little piece right here. And I'll show you where that goes. And like I said, usually the indication is your score lines. And if they basically, just a second here. I gotta remember where that one was. I'm looking at my, yeah. All right, now all of a sudden I forgot where that one goes. I had it all figured out. All right, let me look. This is what we do, is we take a look at what we have. We line this up to the way the picture goes on the, this is good for you to see. Okay, so that piece goes all the way up there at the top. It goes right here. I believe it does. Nope, that's a different one that goes up there. This one goes to the side. Like I said, the cover really does make a difference, showing you where some of these things go. So that one goes over there to the side. Okay? So then we have one last piece, one last layer. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure why this one still has a little bit of a score mark on it. Unless I'm supposed to put this piece on top. And it could very well be, but that is not what I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay, so this one actually has, you cut this one, as you can see, I want to show this to you. This has 2 pieces to cut. This big piece and then this small piece right here. Now that means you cut it out of the same color, right? Now if I wanted this piece to be different, this always tells you if you can still see a score line, you've missed out on something. So this extra piece, it just makes it up higher. I could have changed that color to make it more of a highlight. I could have made it, you know, if I wanted it to be a highlight, a lighter color, but I didn't. So it's just going to be a higher bit on there. So it still gives it the dimension. It just doesn't happen to change the color. So that's the flower. Now, if you remember with the bunny, I added, so I distressed the edges. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the same with this one. So we're going to carry on. We've got the flower done. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do this leaf right here at the side, the biggest leaf. Now what I did for this, I'm going to show you the dies again. So this is the background, and it tells you again on this back, this is 2, and then this is 3. Well, no, this is 1. So basically they had this, yeah. So they just wanted you to do this, whatever color you wanted to. In some cases it said brown, and then the 2 different colors of green. I did them all green, and I did it in dark, medium, and light. So when I die cut them, if you can see, they're basically set up the way that the flower go, or the leaves go. So I put those pieces all back out to where they needed to go. That way it wasn't going to be messed up when I put them together. Normally I would just do 1 layer at a time and cut it out, and I don't have any confusion, but when I'm doing it with a video, I need to have it all prepared ahead of time so things can get moved around. So we're going to start with this biggest leaf first on the right. And again, for this, I did do, like I said, a dark, medium, and light. But you could do this as a brown without a problem. It's a little bit harder to see the score lines when it's dark and I don't have the light coming from that direction. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do all of those, the medium colors on top of the dark. Now, I want you to notice what I did not say. This was not one big piece, leaves and flower together. You basically are going to be the arranger. So you can make it just like what you see on the cover, or you can arrange this in any way you want, because these pieces are all separate. That also allows you to use these with other dies or other things, or just using the leaves. So that's kind of nice that it's just not one solid piece. However, if people like things already set up for them, that's not how this is. You can actually use this as your template, the cover. So those people that do want it to look exactly the same, you pretty much lay it right on top. I'll see how close it is to size, just to show you. So I'm now on the 3rd layer, and this would be the lightest. Like I said, you can make the leaves all different colors. If you use ink, you could even have colors all different that way. So that's kind of cool. I really like how these turn out a lot. So this bottom one did not come with a 3rd layer because it was tiny, I think. And these all totally, those 2 I've already done, they totally went over. This one has an edge to it, to the side. So it doesn't match up that way. So now we've got our leaves. But let's just check, just out of curiosity. Look, they do really match up with what's on the cover. So technically, you could actually put whatever you wanted right down like that, and have your arrangement be the same. All right, so let's work on the next set of leaves. And that's this one. And I had to look at this one when I went to cut it out to make sure I had the right ones, and I'm going to explain that to you. Obviously, this is the first layer. Now, to tell the difference between the second and third layers, like what I've said before, the one that has the score lines in it is usually the bottom or the next layer, and then this one cuts it out. It's got the same, pretty much kind of like holes in it. Here, hold it the right way. But these actually cut out. So that's just to let you know, a little tip there. But the other thing is, it does say the number on the back, which is 1 and 2. And again, this could have been brown instead of the dark green. So I've got these pretty much lined up over here, how they're supposed to go together. So I'm not going to mess that up too much. So again, I am putting the medium color on first. And for this one, I actually used, the other one, I had the same 2 colors for the first and second layer, and this one's the same as that, but the third layer on this one is going to be a different color green. Well, I think that's right. I could be wrong. I know it looks pretty much the same. Yep, it does look pretty much the same. Well, that was my plan. I guess I didn't do it. So like all of these fit over exactly the size of the leaf, and the only thing that's really showing is where the stem of the leaf would be. Not that you can't have a little bit of the dark showing to the side. I think it gives it shadow. All right. And after this one, there's another little, I could say a little bouquet of flowers that you have to put together. Whoops. I have a little bit of glue on my fingers, and then it tends to raise that back up. Okay. I'll show that to you as I get. Again, there's score lines where those parts of the base of the leaf is. I think you can see it on that one really well. Make sure I get the right color. So like I said, you can make your leaves really any color. They don't have to be the green. I mean, if you're considering doing something for fall, you can have fall colors. But for this project, we're working on spring. All right, so now I'm going to show this to you. Each one of these has score lines. So I know now I can double check and see which one goes on top, because the shapes are all different of what's open from below. But they do line up with the outside. I need to try not to get so much glue on me, but I do. Okay, that one's going to go down below. So they're a little bit like puzzle pieces, like I said. You just got to look before you glue them on. All right, so that one is not that one. That one is that one. It got moved. I grabbed the wrong one. This one goes there. Okay. All all of this takes a little bit of time. I know many people will speed up their video, but I think it works really well to see things like this in real time. But it's not your cup of tea. Might not be what you want to do. There also is, just to let you know, that Sizzix, I don't know how long they keep those up on their site, but they also have, whoops, I messed that up. It goes off to the side. Didn't look at my score line, I was talking. All right, so Sizzix actually has Colorize, usually step by step. They have things come all out at the same time so you can see where to put them. So you can always watch those, they go much faster. So anyway, we got our second set of leaves. So the next is, like I said, the little bouquet of flowers. And this has 3 pieces, just like the other ones. And in this case, I did use a dark green for the background. And I did set these all up so they would go on. Same concept. The ones that have the cutouts in them are usually the ones that go on last. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put both layers on at the same time. These are small. I decided to go with the yellow like was shown on the cover. And I thought the yellow looked really good with the pink too. All right, our tiny piece on top. So I am going to put this together as a card. I have not pulled out my background yet because I'm not really sure how I want to really arrange it. I thought I'd get all my pieces done, which is always easier to do before I start arranging my card. And again, if you just like certain parts of the video and you don't want to see how I put the card together, you can just stop. Or you can come back and watch it another time. All right, I'll make sure I get this the right way around. And again, if there's not a score line and you're questioning it, you can't see the score line. Look at the cover, like I said. All right, this goes that way around. Get some of that extra glue off of there. I think those are really quite cute. Can you imagine a bunch of those done as a bouquet? I think that would be really pretty. So like, you don't have to limit yourself to the way the design is, like I said, because you've got all these options. You can make several of these and just make these as a cute little arrangement on a card. That would be kind of nice. I know in the UK, Mothering Sunday is coming in March, and Mother's Day in the US is in May. So you can just make these cards without the bunny and for Mother's Day. So you kind of get a 2-in-1. Okay, this one's going to go this way because the base of the flower that has the green is in the bottom. Okay, and I'll lift this up too to show you closer. I could have done this one closer because it is smaller. And believe it or not, that tiny one does have a score line. All right, let's see how that looks. All right, so we've got all our pieces together now. And then we just have to figure out how we're going to arrange this. And so I'm going to go ahead and just again show you how this works on top of here. But I am going to go ahead and put some, I'm going to ink the edges of this. But I'm going to show you how you can actually really use this as your template. Even if it was a little bit smaller, you still could have figured that out. So that works really well. And you could actually even use this and do the gluing, because this is just plastic, it would come off. So now I could take my bunnies over here and say, okay, I want my bunny there, and this is a bunny that's gonna maybe be peeking over with his little paws. He could do that, or he could peek down here. I think that would be super cute over the flower. So I'm probably gonna arrange it off to this side a little bit more so my bunny can be there. So I think that's gonna be the plan. And then I've got these teeny tiny, and I think this is gonna go like, this is gonna be like maybe the girl bunny with the flowers. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that together. I think I'm gonna make, I'm gonna measure this for you so you can see basically how this could work. I think this would make, I think I'm gonna make a 6 by 6 card. And that's gonna be my card base. I'll get that together and I will put that on a card really quickly to show you. Okay, so I have my card finished and I wanted to show you what that looked like and how I put that all together. And I also want to tell you something else too. For the hello here, I used Elisa Horton's craft dies, and I used the, I believe it was this one right here. So there's several in there. And this was called Hello Love. I don't know if I said that. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you about is this background paper. This is something that I created digitally, and it is seamless. So if you are interested in getting that as a freebie, I will have this on my Facebook page, and I will have a link below that says paper freebie and the link. So you'll be able to get that if you want it. The other thing I wanted to say, everything that I did use, I will try to have in the description below. And again, I want to thank you for stopping by and participating in the blog hop for crafting together with all brands. Thanks so much.